Om Shri Sai Ram. With utmost love and humility, let us all offer our most loving salutations at the lotus feet of our most beloved Bhagwan. Revered elders and Sai sisters and brothers of the Sai fraternity, welcome back to the second episode of Love, Smile, Now. And let us bring light and delight into our lives here and now. Today is 23rd of October 2025, Thursday, the auspicious Thursday. Swami would always say that fast from worldly things on Thursday and bring thirst of God on this day into your lives. How simply and beautifully put, isn't it? It all depends upon how much thirst we have for achieving the goal for which we are born. Many people just live mellow lives, spreading their butter very thin on different and varied aspects of life and not able to progress fast on the goal of salvation. Swami would always say that Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was able to achieve the goal of salvation from any path that he chose within 3 days' time. And when somebody asked Thakur Ramakrishna Paramahamsa how you are able to achieve all the paths of religion to the end goal within 3 days' time, he would always say it all depends upon how much you yearn. How much you will yearn, that much you will earn on the spiritual path. That reminds me of one episode that one day a disciple of the great thinker Socrates, he came to him and said, Master, I would like to also see God. Can you show God to me? And Socrates said, yes, why not? Let us go to the river bank and let you have a small ablutions first. Take a bath. Then I will show you God. The moment the disciple put his head under the water, Socrates being a huge personality, he put his hand over the head of the disciple and kept him inside the water. And the disciple struggled to breathe, struggled to come out. But he kept his hand down for some more time and then allowed him to come out. With a gasp of breath, the disciple angrily looked at Socrates and said, Master, did you really want to kill me or what? Why did you keep me inside the water? Then Socrates looked towards him and smiled and said, I would like to ask you, what did you want the most just before I took you out of the water? And the disciple said, Master, I only wanted a gasp of breath. Then Socrates said, my child, if you yearn for God also like that life-giving gasp of breath without which you will die, you will certainly see Him very soon. But the question is, do we have that yearning? Do we have that passion to achieve the goal of our lives? Swami says 41 minutes of thoughtless state and emotionless state is going to open up a new perspective of spiritual development. But do we all have that 41 minutes of time to be able to sit down in completeness of physical, mental, emotional silence and to be able to absorb the divine energy of the consciousness all around us and to be able to take the one big leap and step forward towards our salvation? Most of us don't have those 41 minutes time for 41 janmas also. Today is an auspicious day in this Sri Sai Mukti Dham because today my mother came and inaugurated the amplifier system, the mic system. And it is so beautiful to have the vibrations of divine bhajans and artis and the various shlokas and mantras playing all the day round in this Sri Sai Mukti Dham in Puttaparthi. The question is that it is only a mic. It's only a system that gives us that orientation, that perspective to always remain focused. Swami says, I don't want part-time devotees. I want full-time devotees. Part-time devotees don't get the benefit of gratuity and pension. But a full-time employee, a full-time devotee always has my grace in whatever the circumstances, whichever the place you are, and whichever challenges that you are facing. There was once that Swami came out for darshan, and he was walking in the upper portico, and many of the students were seated there. And in those days, there used to be a flute recital by one devotee, in fact, two brother devotees, who used to play flute turn on turn before the bhajan would start at around 5:15 in the evening. So around 4:30 they will get on with their flute recital, and Swami will just walk around and then come for darshan and give us all the joy of his presence and blessings during the bhajans at 5:15. So before the bhajan started, Swami came out and was speaking to some of the students. And then he asked one boy named Giridhar, and he said, Swami was standing just below the mic system, and Swami asked this particular boy, where is the music coming from? And back came the boy's reply, Swami, it is coming from this speaker. And Swami said, oh, that's only a speaker. The music comes from within. Remember, the music comes from within. And everybody, took it lightly, enjoyed the joke. Swami went on. Fast forward 5 years. This boy has joined an MNC. He's gone to London, and he has been representing his company for a very important $1 million contract to a board of very influential people. Now, sitting outside the boardroom, our student this Girdhar is having his hands getting wet. He's nervous and he's feeling, oh God, this is my first major assignment. And if I'm not able to perform well, what's going to happen? What's going to be my position in the company? I hope that I'll be able to perform well. So with that anxiety in his heart, he just waited and then prayed to Bhagwan to help him out. At that very moment, he remembered this particular instance where Swami had told him, this is only an instrument, this is only a speaker. The music comes from within. And the moment he thought about this particular instance, all the anxiety went away and he performed absolutely well. And of course, his company got that coveted $1 million contract. So in the last episode, I had spoken about how Swami balances us out when he gives us a very important position, when he gives a very important assignment, when he gives us his proximity day in and day out. He sometimes balances us out by ignoring us for some time and bringing back humility and groundingness into our being so that we are ready for a higher, for a better performance in the next project that he would give us. So I spoke about the schools project, where Swami had given us the opportunity to build school buildings, government school buildings around Puttaparthi. Now, after this project was over, we thought that Swami had given us so many opportunities, we should bring Swami a small gift as a token of our love and gratitude. So we all discussed, all four of us, and we thought, okay, let us make Swami some beautiful robe. So we got into action, and I called up my uncle in New York, and I said, Uncle, we need the best quality robe for making 2 robes of this particular size we require. And he sent us immediately. And I went myself to Sai Ram Tailors in Whitefield Market, and there we got 2 robes stitched for Bhagwan. And then, some of us, we went to Purnachandra to offer these beautiful white velvet robes to Bhagwan, because Swami would wear the white velvet robes sometimes during Christmas or the sports meet time. So after I stood outside the Purnachandra, I sent a word through Brother Satyajit that I would like to come in and present this 2 robes to Bhagwan. He went in and took Swami's permission, and I was called inside. So when I went in, I saw that the Vice Chancellor was there, the Finance Manager was there, and there was another person, the Director of the Super Specialty Hospital sitting there, and they were all waiting for lunch to be served. And Swami was sitting with a big basket of letters next to him on a sofa. And Swami told me to also sit down on the sofa, where the elders were sitting. I was wanted to sit at his lotus feet only. And Swami said, no, get up. There's hardly any pathway here. There's a very narrow passage, because Swami lives in Purnachandra. Is a very narrow passage. The whole the width of the passage would be around only 8 to 9 feet, and where there's a sofa, there's a chair, there's a walkway. Swami said, no, sit on the sofa. So I sat there, and I was looking very keenly at what Swami was doing. There's a big basket of letters next to Bhagwan, and some letters Swami will just look at and then and keep it aside. And some letters he will take and then look at only the cover and then keep it aside. Some letters he would open and read, but hardly read anything, and then just open and keep it back. Some letters Swami will read for some time, maybe not completely, but then he will keep it aside. And some letters, I was surprised, that some letters he will read and keep it in his lap and reread and read some more letters and come back to this particular letter or letters and read them once again and smile and again keep them in his lap again. I was very surprised with the treatment being meted out to all these letters by Bhagwan. So in the evening when I went for darshans, I had Mr. Padmanabhan, Swami's driver, sitting next to me. And then I said, Padmanabhan sir, this is what I saw today in the afternoon time, and I was surprised. So why Swami gives very different treatment to the letters given by devotees. And Mr. Padmanabhan said, even I was surprised one day when I saw this behavior. When I saw this treatment being given to various letters, and I asked Bhagwan about what was the reason behind it. And then he said, Swami had told him that some people write the letter with the feeling that Swami anyway will not look at it. And Swami says, then I also don't look at it. Some people write with the feeling that at least Swami will look at the covering of the envelope in which the letter is there. I also look at only the cover of that letter and then keep it aside. Some devotees write with the feeling that at least Swami will read a few lines from my letter. He is very busy managing the entire universe, but at least he will read a line or two. And Swami said, I also read a line or two only. But some people, they write a letter as sadhana itself. They write the letter, then rewrite it, then say, oh, Swami, I wrote, you are the Purna Avatar. Oh, no, I should not write like this. I must write the most loving Purna Avatar of this age. And then he says, no, the most loving and graceful, or the most loving and caring. So you write and rewrite the letter again and again, feeling that if Swami reads this, will it be really doing justice to his this infinite love and grace that he bestows upon us? No, I must change the wordings, I must redo it. And Swami says, such letters I also read and reread, and I enjoy reading and rereading because I am not looking at the letter per se, but the feeling behind it. So, brothers and sisters, Swami always says what is most important is the feeling with which you do anything. There was, when I was in Delhi before I became a student of Bhagwan, on Deepavali day, one year, Swami came early morning into my dream, and I saw that there was bhajan session going on, and Lord Shiva was walking with a trident and a jata juta, and nobody was really able to see him except me. And there were two thrones kept on the the pedestal in the front, and on one side I saw that one lady from the Samiti. She got up and she became like Durga with a big vermilion mark on her forehead and open hair, and she sat on that particular throne, and then Lord Shiva himself went and sat next to him. And then I heard Swami's voice saying, do the sadhana that this lady is doing, this devotee is doing. And early morning when I got this particular dream, I went to her house. It was not even 5 o'clock by that time. Deepavali day, she had just got up and probably doing her pujas and getting ready for her daily chores. And I just touched her feet and said, Auntie, I really want to know what sadhana you do, because Swami told me in my dream that I must do same sadhana that you are doing. And then she said, oh Deepak, come on, calm down. What happened to you early in the morning? Come, I'll make you a cup of tea. She made a cup of tea for me and she sat down and said, what happened? I said, Auntie, I got this kind of a dream. She said, oh, my sadhana, I don't do any sadhana. I said, Auntie, now this is a blatant lie, because Swami just now told me I must do the sadhana that you are doing. How come you are saying that you don't do any sadhana? She said, Beta, if you think it is sadhana, maybe it is your perspective. But for me, my practice is that whatever I do with a feeling that I am doing for Swami. If I am cleaning the house, I think I am cleaning Prashanti Nilian Swami's room only. When I wash the clothes of the family members, I think I am washing the robes of Swami. When I cook food, I always feel that I am cooking for Swami alone. When I take care of my husband, I take care of my husband as if I'm taking care of Swami alone. When I take care of my children, I always feel they are children of Sai given to me for taking care and for developing their character. And that is why that is the feeling with which I take care of even my own children. I never feel this is my house or my body. I only feel it's a temple of God given to me for taking care and for imbibing the true potential that it holds. And whenever I have extra time, my child, I look at all the needy people around me. Many of the neighbors here, their children have gone abroad, leaving them alone in the old age. I take care of them for the medical appointments. I teach some children and put them into the regular classes in school so that they will have a brighter future. If that is the only sadhana that I do, and I said, Auntie, you have given me the greatest perspective of life. That if you do everything as an offering to God, that we are doing it for God Himself, that itself becomes the highest sadhana. The feeling is important. The feeling is paramount. One day we were all sitting as captains of various sports events, and I, as I'm a nationals table tennis player, and I was an athlete. Long time ago in school time, I even represented New Delhi in the nationals table tennis sports, and I won the bronze medal at the national level. So all that perspective was there. So I was again a table tennis champion at the college time when I was doing my MBA. And one day all the captains were asked to sit in the front and take blessings for Bhagwan for the beginning of the sports and cultural meet. So we all sat. I sat with a table tennis racket, somebody with a cricket or a volleyball or a tennis or whatever. So we all sat there, and Swami came. He had letters in his hands, and I wanted, because they all pushed me in front. I said, Swami speaks to you every day, Deepak. You please tell Swami that we all need Padnamaskar. I said, certainly I will speak to Bhagwan the moment Swami comes. Swami came and looked towards me and said, what is all this crowd here for? I said, Swami, you're all captains. We are starting our sports meet competitions, and that is why we need your blessings, Bhagwan. I could not even finish my words while all the captains got very eager to take Padnamaskar. And they all started saying, Swami, can we take Padnamaskar? Can we take Padnamaskar? So Swami said, yes, come and take Padnamaskar. So I was right in the front. So I was feeling a little pushed from the back, and I was scared I should not fall down on Swami's feet. So immediately I took some namaskar, I kissed his feet, and I got aside. I thought, let the anxious captains take their Padnamaskar at the earliest possible before it becomes like a stampede. So the moment I went aside and looked towards Bhagwan, Bhagwan was glaring at me with dissatisfaction writ large on his face. And I was wondering, what did I do wrong? Why is Swami looking a little angrily towards me? And Swami looked down towards me and said, no feeling, no use. God, nearly the tears welled up in my eyes, because Swami hardly ever scolded me. And this was one moment Swami said, no feelings, no use. And then I realized, God, I am kissing the feet of the Purnavatar. I am kissing the feet of the Lord of the Lords, the Master of the universe. And I am just doing it as a formality. I am just doing it because I just want to get out of the way. Where is the feeling? That perspective we should all imbibe, that Swami is Bhava Priya, Bhava Priya, Bhava Priya. Whatever you do, do it for the love of Swami. Whatever you do it imbibed with, the emotion of yearning and being in the presence of Bhagwan. And I have seen umpteen number of examples where sometimes in darshan time, I will hide behind a pillar. And I will shed tears, and I say, Swami, if you really know, if you're really Bhava Priya, if you really know that, I am yearning for you, Swami, come here. This is maybe the last straw in darshan, but Swami, come here. And Swami invariably would come. One day Swami came to bless us after the sports and cultural meet and gave a discourse to us in the institute. And Swami was on the stage, and Swami gave a beautiful discourse. And after that, Swami really walked down the steps towards his car from the stage. And I was sitting right in the back in the auditorium, and I started yearning. I said, Swami, please, Swami, I would love to, hold your hand and touch your feet, Swami. You're going away, not even looking towards me. Do you even know that I am here? I'm sitting in the back yearning for you, Swami. And lo and behold, Swami walked up the stage again, came to the side where I was sitting, and walked up the steps towards the end of the auditorium and blessed me, allowed me to hold his hand. In fact, then Swami walked me all the way to his car, and then, I was so grateful, that every time, every time we would yearn for Swami, we would find his presence. One day, Swami, we were in Kodaikanal, and one devotee said, Swami, I love you so much, but Swami, I don't know if you love me or not. We all smile at the beautiful question. And Swami, I love you. I know that I love you, Swami, with all my heart and soul. But sometimes I really can't understand or feel that you love me so also. And Swami looked towards that devotee and said, my child, that you are able to love me is by itself the proof that I love you 1,000-fold more. There is no other proof required. If you love me 1%, I love you 1,000% back. That is certainly the most important words I have heard from Swami, that let us not feel that we have lost him in any way, that he doesn't listen to us anymore, that we have to go to any other guru or any other, duplicates and other people who are doing business in the name of Sai. Right here, right, Swami says, your heart is my head office. And certainly if we focus upon the yearning in our hearts for Swami, his presence is here and now. His presence is here and now. His presence is here and now. I thank you all for your time and blessings. And I really again prod you, as I put in the comments, I would like to create a small compendium of 108 problems that we all face in our daily lives. Maybe it is in the Sai organization, maybe it is in the workplace, maybe it is at home. Maybe it's the aspect of life that we are going through at the moment of time. So please feel free to message me on India number 6362696490. If you want to make it personal, please message me. If you can just talk about the aspect that you are finding difficult to deal with, please put up in the comments that we can all help each other in that problem. Your problem is actually a solution in some other form. So that problem may be actually a problem for another million people. So if you would share your problem, and I am able to give you the perspective exactly what Swami has said about it, I think it's going to be a great service to humanity. So please take your problem as an opportunity to serve the humanity at large. And Swami says, this society is a form of God. And that is why, in that particular perspective, by the end of this year, I would like to put in 108 small solutions to problems of our daily lives. So that, we can all help each other, hold our hands together, and walk towards Sai as one family. So that our life becomes ideal that we want to live in this lifetime. And at the end of this life, we will all merge in Swami in complete oneness forever and ever. Thank you once again. I love you all, and I need your love and your blessings. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.